Hey, how's it going everybody? Tim here, the Frugal Travel Guru, back with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to once again talk about, you guessed it, the Greyhound bus. And I wanted to talk about 5 things you need to know before you book your Greyhound bus ticket. Now, most people, for a lot of people, especially if they've never ridden Greyhound, if they want to buy a Greyhound bus ticket, they want to book a Greyhound bus trip, the day of the trip, they go down to the station, they go to the counter, they buy their ticket. And while this works, I mean, you could do that, there are some tips and tricks and some things that if you knew, and if you followed these tips and tricks before you buy your ticket, it could save you money, could save you time, and also help you to have a way better trip. So, without further ado, let's get into what these 5 things are that you need to know before you buy your Greyhound bus ticket. And number 1 is, when you book matters, okay? And what I mean by that is, the day in which you take your trip matters. Now, a lot of people don't know this. They just kind of book a trip, when they have, time to do it. But if you book on certain days, you can actually save yourself money. So most people ride on Greyhound on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's when most people on the Greyhound bus, because that's when most people have time off. However, in order to lure people into riding on the days that aren't too busy, Greyhound offers discounts for the days at the beginning and kind of the middle of the week. So the best days to ride on the Greyhound bus to get a discount would be Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and mainly Tuesday and Wednesday. Because Monday sometimes you get a lot of spillover traffic from the weekends, but Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the best days to ride on the Greyhound bus. So, if possible, if you can, try and book your trip on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and a lot of times the ticket will be cheaper. Number 2, where you book matters. Like I said, a lot of people just go down to the Greyhound station, they go up to the counter, they slap down their money, give me a ticket to St. Louis. You will get better prices if you book online or you book through the mobile app. So going to the counter is in the Greyhound station, or even some of the places that will sell you Greyhound tickets. I know 7-Eleven used to, and there's some other places where you can buy a Greyhound ticket with cash through in person. These places don't give you the best price. If you go online or use the mobile app, you will get a better price. A lot of times there's online discounts. And the reason Greyhound does this is because it costs them no money to have people buy your tickets online. If you're a business, you want people buying online because it cuts back on the number of customer service people you need at your stations. You don't need as many ticket agents if everyone's buying their tickets online. So they give you this online incentive to try to get more and more people buying their tickets online, less people buying at the station. Greyhound can have less employees at the station. So, if you have the means to, credit card, debit card, gift card, whatever, if you have the means to buy through Greyhound.com or through the Greyhound mobile app, do that, and you will notice that the prices will be a lot lower. Well, I say a lot lower. I think it's around 10% or something like that is the online discount. But that, that's good money. Depending on how far you're going, how much your ticket's going to cost, 10-15% is a lot of money. So just keep that in mind and try to always book online. I always book online. I don't think I've ever bought a ticket at the station. I always book online. I'll be outside the station and I'll buy it on my mobile app and save money. That's what's so funny to me. You can literally be standing 2 feet from the ticket counter, pull your phone out, buy the ticket, and it'll be cheaper than the same ticket that the guy next to you is buying at the counter. So where you book matters. Tip number 3 is promo codes. Greyhound, quite often, pretty regular actually, more regular than I thought they would, being Greyhound, puts out promo codes. And a lot of times these promo codes range anywhere from 10 to 25% off. Before you book your ticket online, I recommend you going to Greyhound.com A lot of times, especially around holidays and special events, right there on the website, on the front page, they'll have like a 10% off promo code. All you have to do is plug it in when you get to the end, where you're buying your ticket. Also, you can check out Greyhound on social media. In the description box below, I will leave a link to 3 or 4 of Greyhound's social medias. I follow them on all their social media. I recommend you do it too if you travel on Greyhound frequently, but if you don't, you can still, before you book your ticket, check them out on Facebook, check them out on Instagram, check them out on Twitter, and because a lot of times they post their promo codes on their social media. So before you buy your ticket, go to Greyhound's website, go to all their social media that you can find. Even do a Google search, Greyhound promo codes. You typically can't find a lot of promo codes that way, but why not do it and see if they have a code that you can use that corresponds for the time when you're going to be taking your trip or the day you're booking your trip. And then, like I said, you can save anywhere from 10 to 25% off, which adds up depending on how much your ticket is. So always look for promo codes before you buy your ticket. Next, booking in advance. This is a big one. This is usually like my number 1 tip. This video I actually put it lower just because I'm always putting it number 1, but it's number 4 today, and that's book in advance. Greyhound offers discounts when you book in advance. I think 2 weeks to 1 month is like the sweet spot. As soon as you know you're going to be going on a Greyhound trip, or you're thinking about using Greyhound for your trip, and, once you've done the other steps, go ahead and book the ticket. Book as soon as possible. The closer it gets to the day of the trip, the higher the prices get. I don't exactly know what day and what increments the prices go up, but I definitely know that I've saved up to 50% before, no lie, up to 50% off of a ticket because I booked it like a month in advance. I saved 50% off what it would have cost me if I'd booked like the day of the trip or the day before the trip. A trip that was $200 some came down to like 120. Like I literally saved 50%. That's a lot of money, and just because I booked like as soon as I know I was going on the trip. A lot of people know they're going on a trip and they just wait, and it ends up costing them money. Not to mention also when you book in advance, this really doesn't have anything to do with your ticket or the price of it, but one of the things when you book, when you get your Greyhound ticket, there is like a, what is it called? The seating number, something like that on the ticket, the boarding number, excuse me. A lot of stations don't care about the boarding number, it's whatever. You will find some stations though that board according to the boarding number. The sooner you book your ticket, the lower your boarding number is. So, if typically my boarding number is somewhere between like 1 and 5. The lower your boarding number, the sooner you get on the bus. So on the rare occasion that I was at a station and they were boarding by boarding number, getting on the bus first is super important on Greyhound because you get to pick what seat you want to sit in, as opposed to getting on the bus a lot later and just having to get the seat next to the stinky guy with a half shirt on. My boarding number was super low. I got on the bus quick. I got to find, a seat I wanted to sit in. So booking in advance not only can save you money, but in some rare occasions, it can actually help you get on the bus quicker. So always, always, always book your Greyhound bus ticket as soon as possible, ASAP. And finally, tip number 5, before you book your Greyhound trip, especially if you're booking another reason you want to book online is because it allows you to see different routes, if there are. Sometimes when you're going from your departure station to your destination station, there's only one route. You have no options. But sometimes there are a couple different routes. When you're booking online, you get to see all these routes. And the cheapest is not always the best. A lot of times there will be, sometimes 3 different routes. They might be separated in price, $10, $20, $30, whatever. People always seem to just go for the cheapest one. Cheapest route is not always the best. Check out the other routes. Sometimes the more expensive route might be an express route. So basically, it might be $25, $30 more expensive, but it might get you to your destination 12 hours earlier or a whole day earlier. I've seen this happen many times. Like there'll be an express route that's just so much quicker than the other route, and it's only, $25 more. Trust me, on Greyhound it's worth it. Trust me. any time you can shave off your Greyhound bus trip, it is worth it. Also, another thing you want to look at is like layovers. Different routes have different layovers. Some routes have a lot of layovers, some not as many. I've seen this happen before. The same, two different routes going to the same city, and one had three layovers, one had like 7. I'll pay $15 extra to only have 3 layovers. So always check as much information as you can. Like I said, it's all there on the website. It shows you how long the trip is. It shows you the layovers, transfers, all that stuff. Check all of that out and then book the route that you're most comfortable with. Now, if money is a huge option for you and time and layovers and all that stuff isn't, go with the cheapest one. But cheapest isn't always the best. Look at all your options, then decide on what ticket you want to buy. Because trust me, you can save yourself a lot of time, a lot of hassle, a lot of hanging around Greyhound bus stations if you pick like an express route, if that is an option. So those were just 5 things I recommend everybody pay attention to and know before they book the Greyhound bus ticket. I know for me, using these tips, I usually get decent routes when the option is there. I save a lot of money. One of the reasons I have ridden Greyhound so much in the past is because using these techniques, my Greyhound bus tickets are usually pretty cheap. And that always lures me in. Even sometimes when I'm like, I don't really feel like riding Greyhound, when I can go cross country for $100, $120, it's kind of hard to pass that up. So using these techniques, you can save yourself a lot of money, have a better trip, better experience, and trust me, you ride Greyhound because it's cheap, so why not, go even cheaper? And you always want to have the best experience possible in Greyhound because it's going to be a hard ride. Anyway, so anything you can do to try to make it better, trust me, you're definitely going to want to do. Anyway, I'm Tim, the Frugal Travel Guru. If you have any other Greyhound bus questions, please check out my other videos. Just go to my channel page. I have like 200 some videos about cheap travel, most of them about the Greyhound bus, but also videos about Megabus, Amtrak, things of that nature. Or my social medias are in the description box below. Feel free to follow me. Even if you don't want to follow me, you can hit me up on them and I'll get back with you. I actually do 99% of the time respond to people who hit me up on social media if they have a valid question. I'm here to help people. So yeah, if you have a question about Greyhound, hit me up on social media, or you can leave it in the comment box on this video and I will try to answer it as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.